Even as a full-time beauty blogger, there are makeup items that just fly under the radar for me. And once I discover them, I'm like, why aren't people talking about this? Why is this not getting the hype it deserves? Tati did a video like this a couple months ago, but I wanted to put my own drugstore budget-friendly spin on it because there are makeup items that I have recently discovered or holy grails in my routine that I feel like deserve a little bit more praise. If you're new here, hi, I'm Miranda. Welcome back to my channel where I talk all things budget-friendly beauty, fashion, and lifestyle. If that sounds interesting to you, then become the newest member of the Slashed Squad by hitting subscribe and the bell icon. So if you want to know what makeup I think is so good but so underrated, just keep watching. All right, first up, I gotta give a shout out to my current everyday foundation from Believe Beauty. This is a $5 foundation that can be exclusively found at Dollar General. I did do a whole Believe Beauty full face video on my channel. I'll leave that link below. But this foundation, I believe, is like the overachiever of the entire makeup line. This gives me medium to full coverage in one layer. It's incredibly lightweight. It doesn't settle into my lines, and it stays comfortable all day. The finish on it is kind of a radiant matte, so it's not dewy at all. It definitely sets, but you're not gonna get that dry, flat appearance. This actually does remind me of my all-time favorite foundation, regardless of budget, which is the Makeup Forever Ultra HD foundation. This is a bit creamier. It's not as runny as Makeup Forever, but I feel like the coverage is very similar. So for $5, it's definitely worth checking out. Next, I wanna talk about makeup from Pixi. Pixi makes amazing skincare products. They're some of my favorite at the drugstore. Even though they are priced a little high for drugstore products, the products exceed what they cost, if that makes sense. But while everybody focuses on their skincare, I don't feel like a lot of people talk about the few really great makeup items that they have in their collection. So what I have here is the Pixi Eye Reflection Shadow Palette. This is in the shade Natural Beauty. I believe there are 3 versions of this palette. I used it to create my eye look today. I mean, these shimmers are gorgeous. I mean, there's a reason this is called the Reflection palette. The shimmer and metallic shades look really beautiful, dry or wet. The mattes are very soft and they blend out easily. The texture kind of reminds me of Bare Minerals just a little bit. I will say that the mattes are very soft. You'll get kickback in the pan, but I don't feel like that translates into fallout on the face. From what I've been seeing, a lot of the neutral palettes that have been coming out recently lean very warm or rosy or golden, so this is kind of a nice departure from that. It's got those silvery undertones. Even though it has 2 rosy shades, they're definitely on the cooler side. So this palette is $24 at Target. Like I said, a little bit higher than many drugstore beauty brands, but I feel like it does offer something different. The formula is nice, and it's still like half the price of higher end palettes that perform similarly and have this many shades. Also from Pixi, I'm surprised that I haven't used these recently. It's kind of one of those products that I forgot and then rediscovered, and I'm like, Miranda, why haven't you been using these? I'm talking about the Pixi Endless Silky Eye Pens. These 100% remind me of the Urban Decay 24/7 liners. They are waterproof. They're so soft and glide onto the skin without any tugging whatsoever. They last a long time and they are perfect for the waterline. These are only $12, so about half price of the Urban Decay liners. They don't have as an extensive color range. They're definitely more on the neutral end, but they do have gold, silvers, blue, and a green, I believe. But I'm so happy that I like rediscovered these because I really do think that they deserve a lot more love. Speaking of liners, great transition into a brand in general that I feel like is a little bit underrated. I'm talking about Essence. Essence is one of the cheapest brands at the drugstore, but they do produce really nice makeup. So as we talk about liner, I wanted to mention the Essie Extreme Lasting Liner. It is a waterproof pencil eyeliner. And again, this just glides on and it stays put. I started using this about a week and a half ago, one of the newer additions to my collection, but it is one of my favorite right now as far as just like a pure, rich black liner. Goes right into my waterline when I want a tight line. And I do like using it on the lash line and smoking it out for an all-day look that will not smudge or run. $2.99. Again, this almost reminds me a little bit of the 24/7 liner as well in the shade Zero, which is that rich, deep black that Urban Decay does so well. But I mean, check this out. Rub, rub, rub a dub dub. Nothing. I mean, it is not coming off at all. And it's been setting for like maybe 30 seconds. So I will say if you do want to smudge it out, you kind of have to work fast, but once it's set, you can forget. $2.99 for this. Also from Essence that's so underrated but actually rated really highly on Ulta is their Pure Nude Sunlight Highlighter. So y'all know that I'm very picky when it comes to powder highlight, especially at the drugstore. I feel like a lot of drugstore highlighters are just a bunch of glitter in powder and then they call it a day. I'm not about that life. I want a glow, I want a beam. Now this one is a little bit more on the natural side. It's not gonna give you a strobing, like I can see it from space glow, but I'm such a fan of this glow because it looks so natural. It's almost like it's just what my skin is doing, but definitely enhanced from what my skin actually does. So I do have it on my face today, and I feel like it is obviously there, but it doesn't overpower. It does retain a natural look. So you can be really generous with this without it getting out of hand. A really, really good everyday highlighter. Oh, and how much is this? $4.50. All right, since we spoke about highlighters, let's also talk about contours. Now you've probably seen this a ton of times if you are not new to this channel. I'm talking about the Physicians Formula Bronze Booster Palette. This came out 2 years ago and I still don't feel like it's gotten the love that it deserves. A lot of people just focus on the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer, which is definitely a great product, one of their core cult popular products, but this is probably my favorite contour at the drugstore. I think I'm pretty confident to say it is. It comes with these 3 shades. We have kind of a light, almost a banana powder type of shade. And then we have these 2 bronzer shades. One is a cool shade, one is a warm shade. What I find myself doing a lot when using this palette though is actually mixing the warm and cool shades to create a little bit more of a neutral color. But having both of those options in one palette, I feel like is so smart. This is $12.99. The formula, super silky, very similar to the butter bronzer. And you don't have to keep building this up for days. Like it doesn't take a lot to get the color on your face and blend it out. The packaging is kind of cool too. You flip up the pans and it comes with like a mirror and a brush. I don't like the brush. It's kind of one of those like plasticky feeling brushes, but the mirror is nice. All right, next up, lip liner is not an everyday item for me, but as I'm starting to get more into lip gloss, which is kind of a recent development in my makeup routine, I have been using lip liner more because I do like to overdraw my lips typically. Lip liner gives the gloss something to stick to when I'm outside of my lip lines, and in general kind of gives gloss a longer lasting color appearance. So I was actually recently going through old PR makeup that I had never gotten around to opening, or I kind of like put it away to try for later and then just never did. And I discovered what I consider to be the best lip liner ever, and especially at the drugstore. This is the Covergirl Exhibitionist lip liner. What makes this so awesome? Let me tell you. So first of all, it is a twist up liner, so you do not have to worry about sharpening, but it's actually the shape of the tip that really makes this just click for my makeup routine. So here you can see it's kind of like a mini lipstick crayon, a very mini lipstick crayon. It's a very fine tip, but there is a slanted side to it. Why is that awesome? Because I often fill in my entire lips with lip liner before I put lipstick on or lip gloss on, because it really does kind of give a good base or primer to lipstick. And doing that with a sharpened pencil tip that just comes to like a cone-shaped point, it can be kind of hard and tedious. But with the flat edge, we can cover a lot more lip in one swipe. This reminds me of another product that Tati had mentioned in one of her videos, which was the Tom Ford Lipped Sculptor. That's another lip liner that has a flat edge to it that's very fine. So while I can't speak on whether this is like a dupe as far as performance to the Tom Ford, I'm just saying that the shape is very similar and the idea is similar. I feel like you get a lot more versatility in how you can use lip liner when it's shaped like this. And because of the slanted edge, you do get a very precise point at the top, which is perfect for carving out a new lip shape, whether you're kind of accentuating your cupid's bow or overdrawing your bottom lip. They don't tug on the lips, but I would recommend, if you are gonna be using this as like your only lip color, or you're going to just be topping with something thin like gloss, exfoliate first, because it is a little bit dry. Most lip liners are. It doesn't feel uncomfortable, but it will accentuate any dry patches. patches you have. Do you have a favorite makeup product that you feel like is totally overlooked by the beauty community? Let me know what it is in the comments below if so. Today's shout out goes to Eden. Thanks for being a Slashed Squad member. And join me over in this video next where I rank my favorite eyeshadow palettes, and I feel like some of those are also very underrated. I'll see you over there. Bye!